A guy passed away. A good fellow died. An Adam Kusher passed away yesterday. A guy who I knew from high school. You heard? Yeah, this is kind of scary. We're gonna have some divrei hesped for Avi Mandelbaum. Avi Mandelbaum of Moreshet, somewhere up north. I'm not exactly sure where, but it's up north of here. Avi Mandelbaum was one grade ahead of me in YU High School, MTA, back in the day. We had some classes together only because in the upper classes they mix it. Basically, we both were in calculus with Mr. Grossman back in 99 it was. Okay, we finished class in 99 when I took the first calculus course, and he was in class with us. Like I said, he was a grade ahead of me, but he was always had this strange admiration for teachers, which is a good thing. If you're in school and you have admiration for your teachers, so you become what you admire. And he became very committed to teaching that way. And he became an NCSY advisor, NCSY advisor in short order. I remember being an advisor with him in New Jersey NCSY, and he was a very socially healthy individual, and that led him to become a high school math teacher and science teacher, and then later he was teaching Daf Yomi. So he was one of the pioneers of this online teaching. I talked to Ari Eisenberg. We have a video together. He originally was in Bonim B'Yachad. He changed it to more of a general thing. Bonim B'Yachad is Hebrew, obviously building together. And then he branched out even to non-Hebrew speaking places or places that aren't necessarily Jewish culture. And he's doing those Zoom teachings, online classes. So Avi was at the time, it was still Bonim B'Yachad. He was the number 2 guy. He was basically the online assistant principal. So he was doing a lot of teaching and a lot of all this other stuff. And it was kind of difficult because his diagnosis, basically, he came down with some sort of advanced cancer and Cushing syndrome right around Rosh Hashanah time, like right before. And that was at the time, you remember, Rabbi Miller from the Yeshuv Adam passed away. You have friends who know him. You heard of this. We were talking about it. It was right on Shabbos Shuva that he passed away very suddenly. You heard about it? Do you remember?
I remember.
Rabbi Shalom Miller passed away suddenly of apparently a massive heart attack.
Yes.
Yeah, in Adam.
Do you know Tuvia Slave?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he
was a Talmud of his.
Yeah, exactly.
So guys like Tuvia and a few others who you know were basically brought to Israel by Rabbi Miller, and he helped them along the way, helped them as lone soldiers or just as lone olim, and he gave them family and a place to live and support, and led them along in their shidduchim and everything, and helped them find other places to move on after they became acclimated. So that's what he did with his life, and he was also building a community in Adam, and he apparently just right before his last son was born, he passed away suddenly on Shabbos afternoon. Well, he suffered the heart attack, and he lingered for just a little bit longer before he passed away. And just about that time, Avi himself got his diagnosis and realized that whatever it is was plaguing him was happening to this, and he started rounds of chemo and everything else. So the difference was that Rabbi Miller was like an Ola Tamima, they said. He was taken suddenly, didn't have time to say goodbye, and was just like that. Whereas Avi had the chance to do Tzidu Kadim. Avi seemed to have accepted it. He understood that, like he wrote about Nisan Tokev on Rosh Hashanah, suddenly has a lot more meaning. And he prepared himself, and he started to blog about these issues and about himself. And he was a real model of strength, but also, like I said, the Tziduk Hadin aspect was something very important for him. It was about teaching, commitment to teaching, and then accepting the Gezerah as it was. And somehow or other, while I was in America, he suddenly just became a lot worse. It was very sudden. Once it happened, it was sort of sudden. And so he just passed away. His funeral was yesterday. And like I said, I'm kind of scared because Rabbi Miller was, like, I think 2 years older than me. Avi's just a year older than me. It's not a good sign when you start losing colleagues and friends, getting to that age where, what do you do? I remember one of the older people we used to know at the Pesach Hotel would say, at my age, you go to more funerals than you do other than simchas, So thank God we still go to more simchas, but it's crossing a line. We have to do tshuva. They're taking away the best of us are being taken away from us. So it's a kapara for us, but it's also a wake up call. And you guys are young, so you should know of these things. Okay, we should thank God that for every moment we have here.